Hey everybody, we got some new cards shown today, so let's take a quick look at it. We have a total of 8 cards here, or no, 7 cards. Total of 7 cards here. One of them's a token. We'll start off with the token since most of the stuff seems to revolve around that. We have the coin, a 1 mana burst spell that refills 1 spell mana, or just 1 mana. It can be spell mana or normal mana. We've seen that kind of effect in the Path of Champions, so it's going to prioritize normal mana refilling before refilling spell mana if you're already full on normal mana. But coin stack. We've seen something like that on kegs before, so this is going to work just like kegs. But unlike kegs, which are on the field, and stack there. Coins are spells, so they're going to stack in your hand. So if you generate 2 coins, then it's going to be 1 mana, refill 2 mana, and suddenly you're getting a profit. And if you generate 3, it's going to generate 3 mana, and so forth and so forth. So right away, this is essentially going to be able to turn spell mana into actual mana with even just one of it. Um, but with more than one of it, you're going to actually get a big profit. But surprisingly, you might think that like at first just 1 mana for 1 mana isn't actually anything, except it is because it can turn spell mana into actual mana. I'm going to bet that a lot of people aren't going to think of that right away, but that's going to be very apparent pretty quick. Additionally, uh, it is going to trigger anything that's caring about flow or anything else that's caring about like casting spells. Obviously, with Karma, doubling it, or don't shoot the messenger, but Seraphine, that's a 1 cost spell. If you can somehow save up coins and not use it until Seraphine is leveled up, ooh, you can get a pretty big payday for a nice concert. So let's start looking at what's generating it. Next up, the Attentive Accountant, 2 mana, 1/2 elusive. And it's got Nexus Strike to create coins. So for its cost, even for an elusive, it's alright. The 2 health makes it honestly better than the support elusive that already exists in Ionia, the 1/1 that gives quick attack to whatever it's supporting and stats. So that's nice for it at least. But yeah, it's just there to generate coins. It does so rather slowly, but as long as you get 1 hit in with it, it's made its cost back essentially. It's worth it as long as it can land at least 1 hit. If you get more than 1 hit, then hey, you're profiting. Next up, Tag Out. 2 mana to recall an ally and create a coin in your hand, or spend 5 mana to recall an enemy and create a coin in hand. Well, if you take a look at other recall effects, fast to recall an enemy, uh, that is Will of Ionia. It costs 4. So you're paying 1 more mana for the ability to get a coin. So you're refunding the mana, kind of. And you're spending 1 more mana for the ability to protect one of your own units and recall one of your own units for 2 while still getting a coin. So I think Tag Out is going to be really good. You'll probably see it in uh, combo in Ionia as well as in control-ish situations. Uh, I think comparing it to Homecoming, hmm, I think Homecoming a lot of times is still going to be a little bit better. Uh, But as long as you have any kind of spell synergy, I think Tag Out is going to be a serious contender for that kind of slot. Okay. Next up, we have the Bout Security, and this one is a cool one. All right. When I am 3 mana for a 3/3, that's fine, I guess, especially for Ionia. But when I'm summoned, you create a fleeting bout security in your hand and grant other bout security +1/+1. So this will still be a 3/3 for 3. But if you have 6 mana and you play one, then play the other, then you're going to get both of them being a 4/4, I believe. So unfortunately, this is not grant other bout security everywhere or anything. So it might actually be saying that it's only affecting ones in the field, which means that the second one that you play is still going to be a 3/3, but the first one will be a 4/4, which is definitely not that good. But the main thing is that if you have 9 mana and you play 3, the first one will be a 5/5 and have quick attack, and the second one will be a 4/4, third one will be a 3/3. Yeah, but just empowered in general means that you're able to, if you can increase their attack in other ways, let's say you have the Bandle City unit. Let's see, which one was that? It's the captain, I believe. When you play a unit with less power than it, then you get a +1/+1 on the unit that you just played. So running it with that, yeah, the Yordle Captain, or anything else that might increase its attack, you can still get to that empowered, get that quick attack, and then suddenly it's a pretty dangerous board. Now, the reason why this is in this set is kind of interesting. You actually, I think, are expected to or wanted to use coins to refill your mana and be able to play more bout security in a turn than you would otherwise be able to. Yeah, so like you kind of combo out the bout security. However, you could actually run it with P and Z because of a somewhat forgotten card, stress testing. You could actually run stress testing with bout security in order to remove the fleeting and continue to play bout security even without like all of the mana you need, like be able to do it over multiple turns when normally you wouldn't be able to. Additionally, if you just have more than one copy of bout security in your hand, then hey, you're golden, good job. It's also 3 mana, so it might come out of a portal and then give you a bout security. So like, there's ways to kind of start that ramp without needing the initial 3 mana during that turn. But coins are definitely the intended thing to be able to play a bunch of bout security in one turn and just go wide and start getting that quick attack bonus. It is when it's summoned as well, so anything that's going to summon copies, whether because you're in Ionia, if you're using the Zed spell, Dawn and Dusk, that would summon 2 copies, and then each one is giving a bunch of stats all over the place. So you could do that. You could also, in Shadow Isles, there are ways to summon more copies of them, whether with like Chronicler or Shadow, Splinter Soul, things like that. There's a lot of interesting stuff you can do with bout security. Not sure if it's entirely worth running a deck around it, but probably I think the most interesting thing, just looking at Empowered and looking at the way it's giving buffs and going wide, I think you could kind of just run this with either Kale or with the Zolani that cares about things dying with extra stats. Um, yeah, I could even see it being run with Noxus with Scion, since it's generating a fleeting unit that's gonna get discarded. Like that just kind of is helping Scion level up. It's potentially synergizing with the Lady of Blood, as it once again gives you an option, like you discard the bout security because it's fleeting, and that creates a fleeting copy of it in your hand, which gives you more opportunity to keep going with bout security across multiple turns. So there's a lot of interesting things you can do with bout security, I think. Surprisingly fun, interesting card for just a 3-mana 3/3. But let's move on to the next set of cards. The Smooth Mixologist. 4-mana 3/4, play, heal an ally or your Nexus 3, and create a coin. This is good. This is a card that I think in kind of control decks that want to go the long game in Ionia, like just getting something that's going to come in, heal your Nexus 3, give you a coin, and then just be a blocker, I think pretty solid. Unfortunately, it is not a skill, so you're not going to be able to run this with like Jin. It's not going to help with flow, other than the fact that it's creating a coin. But I think that's a pretty good one. I like it. Next up, Master Ringwin, the Sieve. This one's a weird one. So 5 mana, 3/3 elusive. That's not great for even for elusive stats. But play. The next time you play a unit this round, summon an exact ephemeral copy of it. So, you play Master Ringwin on. If you play this on turn 5, you're not going to play another unit this round unless you have coins. And you would need a decent amount of coins to refill your mana up to the point that you play something significant and kind of worth getting a copy. But even then, that copy is ephemeral, so you're going to end up losing it unless you have even more mana to turn that, use Death Mark and give ephemeral from that ally to an enemy. So it's just really hard to use. Late game without coins, you could play this on turn 5 and then get an ephemeral copy of another 5-drop. Like you're going to want to use this to get an ephemeral copy of something that is like worth it, like something that's game winning. So anything that's you're playing to try to get copies of things that are set up for further in the game, I think it's going to be too late to do that. So unless we're able to see like a way to get a lot of coins really quick, I think this card is unfortunately just kind of bad and hard to use. More cards might show up to make it make sense, but unfortunately, just the all of the limitations. Master Ringwind has to be played for you to get this effect, and then you have to play a unit to make a copy of it. So there's no summon shenanigans that you can do to summon the Master Ringwind or summon a unit after Master Ringwind to get that effect. It has to be all be done in one turn. It's just kind of rough. It's really rough. So unfortunately, unless some other cards come out that make him make sense, I think he's just gonna probably languish a bit. Lastly, we have another 3-mana 3/3, the Pit Professional, and this one is just good. When I'm summoned, create a coin. So you play a Pit Professional, you get a coin. You make a copy of a Pit Professional using any number of effects, you get a coin. This is definitely going to be the main way, I believe, to get coins. The elusive Nexus Strike is good at it, sure. Like maybe it survives a couple of turns to be able to get a couple coins. But Pit Professional is reliable. just comes in, gets you that dosh, and is ready to be recalled and replayed. 3 mana means that you can do it with the retreat return. That's going to go ahead and just be another 3 spell mana to return a Pit Professional to your hand, then replay it for 1 mana, getting another coin. Yeah, like Pit Professional is going to be good, I think, especially if you're trying to do any kind of spell or any kind of coin deck. You're going to be running Pit Professional. If you're running a flow deck, you'll probably be totally happy to run a Pit Professional. That card you're going to be seeing. But that is all of the cards we have for today so far. I think the new mechanic, the coin thing, very exciting. We'll hopefully see set tomorrow or the next day, and that will give us a more full idea on what this whole mechanic is trying to do, or at least what set is hoping to do. But yeah, it's kind of just like efficiency. Just getting efficiency, a little bit of combo, a little bit of tempo. Really good for Ionia, and it doesn't allow you to go over the cap. But if you're running actual mana ramp because you're doing Ionia Freljord, you might be able to pull off some kind of interesting stuff with coins, I think. If you're doing like enlightened coins, the enlightened merchant. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. I'll be back tomorrow, I think, to look over the next set of cards. And once all of the cards are out, we will go over the full art and the flavor text. And I think I will go ahead and tell you, reveal what the story is with Set and Samira here in the Navori fighting pits. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed. And you guys have a good one.